All right, YouTube, quick update. Wanted to make a quick video here, so I just figured I'd fire up the live stream and we'll just get right into it. This video is called Forbes Exposes the SEC. Now, before we get into it, I do want to say, if you want to hop into our Discord group, it is linked up down below. Great time to get in today because tomorrow we have our weekly call. Every Tuesday, we have our weekly calls, among other live calls that we do in our Discord group that are not posted in YouTube or TikTok. So if you want to get into that group, now's a good time. You can make it in today and then catch our weekly call tomorrow. And then we also have the XRP merch down below. We're about to break 20,000 on YouTube. So I appreciate all of you guys. Our community just grows every day. So many like-minded individuals who understand what is going on here with cryptocurrency, current events, and taking proven steps to prepare ourselves for the greatest transfer of wealth in world history. Having a lot of fun right now. We did just create a new Twitter. So make sure you head on over and check that out. Haven't made any posts yet, but we will be active on Twitter now. You can check that out. And if you want to find all of our other information, just head on over to zachrector.com. Okay, new website is up and you can find it all there. Now let's get into this, guys. I wanted to cover this. This is the only article I'm going to cover. This is going to be a quick video. If you're watching this after the recording, I'm not going to take 15 minutes, or at least I'm not going to try. I'm going to try not to. No guarantees. But we are gonna talk about this article right here from Forbes, and I want to give a huge shout out to Rosalind Layton. Hopefully I pronounced that right. Rosalind Layton, senior contributor at Forbes, and I'm going to start doing this more often. I'm going to start covering real journalists who are providing real information, real news, because this is the greatest financial story in my lifetime for sure, and probably in most recent times. This SEC versus Ripple case. And I've been saying the longer this case goes on, the more the SEC gets exposed, because journalists like this just take a simple look at it and it's clear as day, the corruption and what is going on here. So she titled this article, "The Meaning of We at the SEC." Now, of course, this is relating to the Bill Hinman speech, because now they're saying it was just his personal opinion and not the official position of the SEC. So let's read through this. News broke Thursday that President Biden will issue a sweeping executive order tasking his administration to develop a regulatory framework for digital assets as a matter of national security. Go get him, Joe. Let's go. This should have been welcome. Cryptocurrency innovators have begged for a clear regulatory framework for the better part of a decade. But the news sent a chill through the crypto space. After years of abuse of crypto investors and innovators, the credibility of the SEC is in tatters. I couldn't agree more, Rosalind. Thank you. Determined to destroy crypto. The Biden news didn't happen in a vacuum. Fellow Democrats in Congress have called for a wholesale crackdown against crypto, even portraying anodyne digital stablecoins. Did I say that right? Anodyne? That's an interesting word, Rosalind. Kind of threw that. My vocabulary isn't up there to know what that word means. Anodyne digital stablecoins as Frankenstein's monster that must be hunted down and destroyed. Yes, they're going after stablecoins. They're going after DeFi. We've been on this one for a while. A Federal Reserve paper on central bank digital currency identified the economic benefits of digital assets to remove friction from the financial system. Fed Chair Jerome Powell already set the stage for concern at a House meeting on fintech last summer when he said a CBDC would eliminate the need for cryptocurrencies. They're coming. They are coming. They have a plan. Just like Elizabeth Warren's campaign slogan, I have a plan for that. You bet they do. It seems Democrats took this as a green light on the path to prohibition. Now, let me just back up. Let me back up and say, I'm not left, right, okay? I'm good versus evil. To me, this is good versus evil. And that's the main battle that we're fighting right now. But it does appear that the Democrats are wanting to come in and crack down on this more aggressively. It seems like the conservative side, they're pro-business. They don't concern themselves with Bitcoin mining energy consumption. If it brings jobs to Virginia, Texas, they're all for it, for better or for worse. I've always made the argument we could be powering the country of Argentina instead of running this slow, inefficient network, but that's neither here nor there. You know, I'm all for freedom, and I basically support that position as well. For me, I do think that it should be moved to renewable energies for the most part. You know, like they were doing over in the country that I won't mention. They were basically burning coal using their hydroelectric dams to power up the Bitcoin mining, but then they have now banned that in that country that I won't mention, but you guys know what I'm talking about. But before I digress, let's continue on in this article. Basically, the point that I'm saying is I don't care, Democrats, Republicans, the bankers cut their checks, the Wall Street financial beast cuts the checks for these folks. So you're going to see Democrats and Republicans coming for it. You're going to see Democrats and Republicans selling us out. And what we're going to do here is call them out. We're going to call them out on it. Let's continue. Sorry, I get fired up. Take a sip of coffee. Thank you for tuning in tonight, guys. Or this morning, I guess it's 9 o'clock. We're just waking up. Waking up, fresh coffee, we're fired up. Our country's being sold out. The SEC, however, has led the way in destroying confidence in the crypto space, and it predates the Biden administration. During the Trump administration, SEC Commissioner Robert Jackson repeatedly said in public forums that the SEC purposely avoided clarity on what makes a digital asset a security and therefore subject to the agency's regulation, and in lieu of talking to the market. Like Gary says, just give us a call. Just give us a call, man. Okay, Gary. That talking became a baffling set of confusing and contradictory guidance doled out by previous SEC Chair Jay Clayton and his Director of Corporate Finance, William Hinman, buttressed by dozens of arbitrary enforcements which in themselves demonstrate a case of immense, unchecked power. I will get into your guys' comments after this. I see we're already running at 7 minutes, and I'm trying to make this update quick for you guys. I will check your comments here at the end. Let's continue on. The infamous talking event was Hinman's speech in June 2018, where he declared that Ether, the Ethereum network token, is not a security. Hinman said that since Ethereum had become sufficiently decentralized, even though 6 large mining pools were doing over 60% of the network, but that's besides the point, Ether sales would no longer be considered securities transactions. Hinman's criteria included setting aside Ethereum's public initial coin offering and ICO. So let's set aside the securities offering that they did. Now you guys are decentralized and we want to give you the green light. Go ahead, let's invite the rest of the crypto space to build on top of this Ethereum platform. Anyways, these were principles taken with other SEC guidance that led many to believe that other token sales were not securities transactions, including the holders and users of billions of XRP tokens that had been traded on the open market since 2013. XRP never had an ICO. The XRP ledger was built and decentralized before sales began. Ripple, the cross-border payment software company and biggest XRP user, Ripple, the cross-border payment software company and biggest XRP user, along with the crypto exchange Coinbase, sought explicit clarification from the SEC on XRP. And that's key that I often forget about, is that Coinbase asked for clarity too. So you had exchanges going to the SEC. You had Ripple setting up an office in DC, trying to work with these guys, and then they come back on them later, which is why we call it the most staged lawsuit in the history of the SEC. After talking with the SEC, Ripple continued program sales of XRP, and Coinbase listed the token in 2019. Here we go. SEC pronoun play. I mean, we. Hinman prefaced his speech with the usual disclaimer that it was his personal view, not necessarily that of the commission. Yet everyone on the planet understood this as official guidance, and markets reacted, and everyone continued to build all of their tokens, ERC20 tokens, on top of Ethereum. He gave the whole market clarity and guidance, or so we thought. Minutes after delivering the speech, Hinman himself explained that he gave it because the chairman of the SEC felt they had to be clear and transparent and give guidance about Ether. At a later appearance at Georgetown Law School, Hinman said his speech was where we expressed to the world that we didn't view Ether as a security as it was then currently being offered. We also last summer spoke a little bit more about how we were looking at Ether and Bitcoin, and we made it very clear that we don't see a reason to regulate those as securities. Whole lot of we's in there. For a speech proffered proffered as not necessarily the views of the commission, Hinman repeatedly said we when referring to the SEC's approach. He wasn't alone. Jackson, that'd be Robert Jackson, former SEC commissioner, also repeatedly called Hinman's speech guidance on what we think 2 months after the speech. Clayton himself told a conference in Nashville that Hinman outlined the approach we, emphasis added, take to evaluate whether a digital asset is a security. I encourage you to take a look at Bill's speech, which is available on our website. So Jay Clayton is referring people to that speech. Outlined the approach we emphasized. On his last day as chairman, Clayton's SEC filed its blockbuster enforcement action against Ripple, saying that XRP has been a security since inception and all sales, including among retail holders on exchanges, have been securities transactions, and that everyone should have known for 7 years. Its logic was so head-spinning that Hinman's speech became a logical centerpiece of Ripple's defense, that the SEC had been capricious in applying securities laws to them and other crypto actors. Ripple emerges as the defender of markets and investors join. The SEC responded with a contention as ridiculous as its complaint against Ripple. The Hinman speech was personal opinion, not market guidance. Now, this is where we're at right now, right? If we get caught up to speed right now, here's where we're at. They're trying to say that Hinman's speech was his opinion and his opinion alone, not the official position of the SEC, right? And they're trying to block the documents, the draft of his speech that was sent around 63 times around the SEC. They're trying to block that draft speech, those emails from coming out. Presently, the agency is fighting manically to stop Ripple from obtaining dozens of email speeches, drafts, and meeting notes that would expose how Hinman's speech was developed. Such documents will likely be exculpatory for Ripple and reveal that Ethereum investors and their lawyers played a role in writing Hinman's speech. Wow. Rosslyn, I didn't expect you to call him out like that. Let me read that again. I did not expect that. Here we go. Such documents will likely be exculpatory for Ripple and reveal that Ethereum investors and their lawyers played a role in writing Hinman's speech. Not looking good, folks. Some 65,000 holders of XRP who lost $15 billion in value before having their holdings locked by trading suspensions have entered as friends of the court against the SEC. San Francisco-based Ripple with a world-class legal team remains defiant in the case. In court, the SEC's lawyers stand behind their logic-neutral pronouns, the arrogant condensation that everyone should have known that XRP was always a security, that Hinman's speech wasn't guidance, and that all those we's, meaning the SEC, is mass delusion. It's a stunning display of federal hypocrisy, determined to protect its own power over and above any mandate to protect markets or investors. The White House should reconsider an executive order which blesses this madness. Rosslyn Layton, thank you for giving the people a real news article. Mainstream media won't cover this. They won't say the words XRP. You'll never hear them. They might mention Ripple, and they'll cover it for a quick segment. It's like every time they get on Charles Gasparino, they only give him like 4 or 5 minutes of airtime before they cut him off. Okay, we get it, Charles. That's enough. Right? And then they cut him off. But this is a real article, and I'm going to continue to start sharing these. The meaning of we at the SEC, Rosslyn Layton from Forbes. And I will say, Forbes, they're about their money, right? They're willing to tell it like it is because they're pro-capitalist, pro-business. Steve Forbes, has he ran for president? I think he has, right? Or he was considering it, maybe rumored. Pro-capitalism, pro-free markets, right? And they gave Rosslyn the green light here to expose the SEC for this BS. Unbelievable. Now to summarize, guys, here we are. We're expecting the executive order to come from our good friend Joey, as I like to call him, Sleepy Creepy, Biden, is going to be giving us this executive order sometime in the next month, right? The Ripple versus SEC discovery case ends next month as well, or it should, unless we get another stall, another pushback. The main thing that's happening right now is they're trying to hide the speech notes, documents, and drafts that were shared amongst the SEC. So we're going to get a ruling on that before discovery ends. And, that might actually push out the discovery phase ending once again if there's a back and forth through that. So we'll see what happens, guys. The longer this case goes on, the more the SEC gets exposed. They never had a case against Ripple. I've already outlined this, and you guys already know that. As always, I appreciate all of you guys. If you could, share our content. That's all I ask of you guys. Hit that thumbs up for me. Make sure to share this in your Telegram groups, in your Discord groups. Share this message far and wide. We're about to break 20,000 subscribers. I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for being here. And before I head out, I do want to say, if you want to join our exclusive Discord group, you can hop in today. Our weekly live call is tomorrow. So if you want to get in on that, our weekly live calls are every Tuesday. So if you make it in today, you'll be able to make it in for tomorrow's weekly call. And those are all recorded and posted in our group for our members to go back and watch as well. So if you're not there for the live call, you can always check back and rewatch. We have some more exclusive classes that are going to be happening as well this next month in regards to cybersecurity. We're talking about DeFi. We're going to be bringing on other industry experts, other investment class experts on real estate, on business. Super excited for the content and resources that we're going to be bringing to our Discord group. So if you do want to join that, it is linked up down below. As always, I appreciate all of you. It's always a pleasure. Thank you so much. We will see you in the next one. Take care and God bless.